It's Mari McInerney here for the last time periscoping at the Oceania Tobacco Control Conference, and we're looking at the moment at Catherine Barnsley, and we're doing a little periscope experiment again where Catherine is very kindly going to interview our next guest. So over to you, Catherine.
Thank you. I'd like to...
Sorry, Catherine, could you introduce yourself?
I'm Catherine Barnsley from Tasmania, and I'd like to introduce Professor John Berwick from Yale NUS at Singapore.
And you're going to be talking to him about?
And I'm going to talk to him about the tobacco-free generation, but the first question I want to ask is there a need for any further measures in tobacco control?
Yes, there is, definitely. We've had great success in Australia over the years in reducing smoking prevalence, but there's still quite a way to go. We still find that tobacco is killing more people than alcohol, illicit drugs, road deaths, murders, suicides, all combined, all put together.
So, John, the tobacco-free generation that you've been talking about, what is it? What's the tobacco-free generation idea?
Right. So the idea is that at the moment we've got restriction of sales by age to people under 18. The idea is to shift that to a restriction of sales based on birth cohort. The need for that is because there are two faults with the message that underage laws send. First of all, there's this sort of weird message that there's somehow a change in biology, human biology, so that for a 17-year-old it's dangerous to be smoking, but somehow it's okay once you reach your 18th birthday. And that message just doesn't convince. When you have unconvincing laws, you get low compliance. Another mistake with the under 18 law is that a 15 or 16-year-old feels that they're more adult if they're seen with a cigarette. So you're actually creating what the tobacco industry calls a badge of coming of age.
So you're proposing to prohibit sales to anyone born after the year 2000. Is that what you're suggesting?
Right. So retailers at the moment, they have to somehow compute the age of a person who's coming to them, have to do a calculation. All they'll have to do is look at an ID and see whether that year of birth begins with a 1 or a 2. It's as simple as that.
So why are you focusing on sales?
We don't want to be criminalising the consumers because we want smokers who want to quit, and the evidence is that overwhelmingly they do want to quit. We want them to feel free to come forward to, say, the general practitioner or a pharmacist and be able to own up to the fact that they are smokers.
So has this ever been done before?
Right. So this is new in the realm of tobacco, but something very similar has been done a century ago. Opium smoking was very widespread in Asia, for example.
Was it legal?
Yes, it was legal, yeah. So it's very comparable to the situation we have now with tobacco. And they had similar legislation in Sri Lanka and Taiwan. It was very successful. As the older smokers died out, there were no replacement smokers coming through, and eventually the practice just died out.
And so it worked really well?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
So is there any public support for this idea?
Yeah, so we've had surveys conducted in several countries. In Australia, there have been quite a number, also in Singapore and in Canada. And pretty consistently, it's quite striking how consistent the surveys are. Pretty consistently, you get sort of 60, 70, 80, 60% of smokers support it because they see the damage it's doing to them and they don't want to inflict that on the next generation. So 60% of smokers support, 70% of the general population, and quite importantly, since they're the people who are affected, 80% or more of young people support it.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Berwick. That's been great. So anyone who wants further information, they should go to smokefreetasmania.com, to the website, and they can find out anything they want to know about the tobacco-free generation. Thanks.
Thank you very much to you both.
That's it.